Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jay the Sports Dude, coming to y'all live from my apartment. Hopefully you all are at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic, and I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, folks, it's been a while, but we are giving this series another chance where we go back and rewatch New Mexico State's games from last season. Now, as much as I would have loved to have kept this going, we did have to take a short break because if you've been following this series, when we tried to rewatch New Mexico State's second game against New Mexico, for some reason the stream kept getting suspended according to policy violations by YouTube. We actually had to stop the stream and start it back up, I think 3 times, and for some reason we couldn't go more than like 2 minutes without it getting suspended. So what I did is I went ahead and I ended the stream, and I took the next couple of days off. I went ahead and I emailed customer service for YouTube to try to see what the problem was, because the only thing I could think of was that maybe the video was being copyright claimed, but I think that was episode about 8, and nothing before that had been claimed for copyright just yet. So I was a little bit confused about it, and pretty much the person who reached out to me said that would be the only, or the person who got back to me said that would be the only reason that they could think of also, but they also were not seeing that it was being claimed for copyright. So it wasn't very helpful, and I pretty much spent the past couple of days just waiting for a not very helpful response. So what I decided to do is we're going to give it one more shot here today, and if for some reason the stream gets suspended again, then that might be the end of the series, because if it gets suspended too many times then the whole channel can get taken down, and that's just something that honestly I don't think is worth it for this. So fingers crossed this works tonight. We're going to go ahead and rewatch the same New Mexico State versus New Mexico game. We only got about 5 minutes into the contest, so we're going to start it from the top here in this one, guys. And I appreciate everybody who's tuning in right now. Let me go ahead and just check my phone to make sure that we are all set. Everything is looking good, because for those who follow the series, you know that as I'm looking at this laptop right here, I can't see myself in the bottom left corner the way that you all do. So I have my trusty phone, and that's where I have the live stream. So looks like I'm in the frame. I'm going to change the title of the video, or actually it might, yeah, it's already good. It's already good because it's the title of the last stream, although let's put New Mexico in parentheses game 2. There we go. There we go. And like I said, hopefully this works, folks, because I really do want to keep this series going. I would hate to have to cut it short, especially before we get into the win streak and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it just wouldn't be worth getting this channel taken down. So if this does get suspended again, then that might be wraps, folks. But we'll go ahead and see. Fingers crossed that this works. This video is being provided by 04NM Aggie. You can go ahead and check out his account, his channel here on YouTube. Normally we go the NM Aggie Athletic Archive route. That's another channel that's been posting some of New Mexico State's games. But since that's the one that got the video suspended, I said, you know what, let's go ahead and try out a different video. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but we'll see what happens, folks. That's enough talking, though. Let's go ahead and get into this game. Now, I do have it on mute because the only way that you guys can hear me is if I have it on mute. Stephen M says, wow, live. Yes, sir. We're giving you one more shot, Stephen. Pretty much I was just going over this right now, but I don't think anybody was live yet when I was going over this. So pretty much I heard back from YouTube, and they pretty much didn't really give me a good answer. They just said the only thing they could think of was that it was being copyright claimed also, but they were not seeing that it was being copyright claimed. So they didn't know what was going on, I didn't know what was going on, and we're going to give this one more try. But if this stream does get suspended, then we might have to just end the series, because it's not worth getting this channel taken down. So fingers crossed that we make it through this entire video without any problems. We're just going to start this game from the top, since I think we only got about 5 minutes into the first one the last time we tried this. So we're gonna see what happens, folks. I really hope that this works. Again, shout out to 04NM Aggie for providing the video. Make sure to check out his channel. He's been posting some of New Mexico State's games as well. Yeah, and hopefully this works. This video, I believe, is not edited at all, so we're gonna get all of this pregame stuff. Let's go ahead and skip that since it's muted anyway, and go straight to tip-off. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Hope y'all are doing well, staying safe. Let's see. Also, shout out to everybody who sent me questions for Aggie Mailbag, which is a series that we're starting back up again, where you guys send me your questions about New Mexico State men's basketball, and I do my best to answer as many of them as possible. I'm going to be answering about 3 or 5 every week in an article. However, I'm thinking of also doing a video version. So in addition to putting out the article, I'll just do the exact same questions and put it in a video format and put it here on the YouTube channel. So I think we'll be doing that starting next week. But yeah, that's going to be every Thursday. Probably we'll still do the same 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I'll let you guys know. But the first edition of that is on lcsunnews.com, as we see Carlton Bragg with the block. First edition is on lcsunnews.com if you guys want to go check that out right now. I answered a couple questions about what New Mexico State scholarship situation is like. I answered when we might see the schedule coming out, any updates on Jaquan Scott, which there are none, and stuff like that. And also like rotation predictions. So make sure to check out that article, guys. Cameron Montano says, great interview with William McNair, and thank you for asking him my question. Appreciate you for watching. I really am so upset with myself that the audio wasn't the best. At least it wasn't as bad as when we had that interview with Evan, where like you just really couldn't hear what I'm saying. But that echo was pretty annoying. I apologize for that, guys. But we still felt like it was a good enough interview to still go ahead and publish it. So glad that you enjoyed it. And hopefully we don't have those problems anymore. It's something that I couldn't tell it was wrong until I went back to edit the video, because it sounded crystal clear while I was talking to Will. So just really unfortunate, but yeah, still a good interview, and we are working on a very special guest for the next episode. I'm not going to say who it is just yet, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this person or not, but it is a recent graduate from New Mexico State. Yeah, and I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys definitely want to tune in for that one. I'll give you updates on if we can set a time and date up with this person. I already reached out to the SID and Charlie Hurley, and he's always great about getting the people to talk, so we'll see what happens. Stephen M says, who will be your guest next week? Oh yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't want to say it just yet because I don't want to get your guys' hopes up. It's somebody that you guys have been wanting me to talk to for this episode. But once we get a time and date, I'll actually announce who the guest is. So we see the lob attempt to Yvonne there, no good, but he gets fouled. Again, we're going to hope that we make it through this whole stream without any problems, because I would love to keep this series going and watch every game. But if this gets suspended again, that might be it for us, folks. Because we have a lot of other stuff that we like doing here on this YouTube channel, and just wouldn't be worth having the whole channel get taken down for this one series. And it's not just going to be basketball here on this series. For the longest time, I was the only one with the login information at the paper for this account, but now my sports editor, Jason Groves, has the login info. So any interviews he does with the football team, you guys are going to see that as well, as we see Lyle with a tough step back. So we're going to have football content on here. We've seen some baseball content with Nick Gonzalez and everything. And, obviously once like volleyball season starts up, women's basketball, all that stuff, we'll have videos for here too. So tons of stuff, tons of reasons to like and subscribe. We see Terrell Brown lining up his shot, no good. Offensive rebound, easy dunk there for Trev. Good hustle on the glass. Like I was saying in the last stream, I was at this game. It's hard to picture where I was at. I wasn't at the scorer's table. I was across and then like about maybe 5 rows back. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see me at any point in this video. But yeah, this was a fun game to go to, for sure. You see Lyle way off the mark on that step back. Got the Aggies with the ball here, 4-3. Jabari with the ball. So Jabari's in the starting lineup at this point. He made his first appearance, or his first start, I believe a game or two before this. As we see Vaughn with the bucket, the patience in the paint. You need that patience. Oh my gosh. Ah, man. Alrighty guys, looks like the stream is up again. I am attempting to just download the following game against Arkansas-Pine Bluff, and we'll see if we can get that to work instead. Let me clear out some space here. And let's see if we can get that instead, because if it's just that game, then maybe that's the problem. But while we're waiting for that to download, it might just be a couple minutes here. Yeah, it's already mostly good. Cool. Other than that, how's everybody's day going? Everybody doing great so far? Didn't make it very far in that video, folks. Did not make, I think around the same point where I got blocked last time. Very unfortunate stuff. You know? But I have a feeling that it's just that game, because as soon as I exited out of that, you know, it was good. So let's see, is that video still downloading? Alright, let's see. I could just end the stream, but I'm just gonna let y'all hang. You guys can see this. We're just attempting to download this Pine Bluff game. And we'll see how that goes. Cool. Oh man, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Gotta love this process, folks. Yeah, hopefully it's just this New Mexico State versus New Mexico game that's giving us problems. So we're downloading this one. This one's coming from NM Aggie Athletic Archive, where we've normally been finding all of our videos. The reason I download it instead of just playing it off of YouTube is because we might hit a point where it's going to buffer during the stream. So if I download it, it's already uh, fully loaded. So it says about a little under a minute left for it to download, not too much longer. And then we'll give it a shot. And then, if it still is getting suspended, then that's it, folks. Steven says, okay, we are waiting. Appreciate y'all's patience. Appreciate it, Steven. Yeah, if this one is still getting suspended at this point, then, there's not really much I can do after that. Yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good day. My day's been pretty good. Been working on high school football stuff for those interested in that. Teams go back to practicing this upcoming Monday, but the staff is doing a bunch of training this week, so I'm working on an article about that. And it looks like we have this video downloaded. And let's give it a shot. New Mexico State versus Arkansas-Pine Bluff. The Golden Lions, I believe. Stream's still looking good on my phone. Cool. Let me change the title of this now. From versus New Mexico to Arkansas-Pine Bluff. It's Arkansas-Pine and then Bluff, right? I think. If I'm correct here. Let me look it up. You see Buchanan with the ball. Yeah, Arkansas-Pine Bluff. Cool. Jabari Rice, 3-point shot, no good to kick off the game. Let's see what happens, folks. Let's see. It would make sense if it was just the New Mexico game, because that game 1 isn't even on YouTube, so maybe there is some sort of a problem. I don't know if New Mexico is constantly looking to take down some videos or something like that. But yeah, let's see what's going on with this one. 3-point shot, no good. Johnny McCants with the board. Johnny also in the starting lineup now. So CJ now coming off the bench as we see a good bucket there down low from Mr. Yvonne. During that interview with Will for his straight shooter, so you see a turnover here. During that interview with Will, we asked him, or one of the questions, I want to say it was from, I forget who it was from, but one of you guys had me ask Will what he's learned from guys like Yvonne, and he said patience in the paint is the big thing that he's learned, and I think that's pretty on the nose. I've talked about it before. That's the thing that Yvonne really has had to focus on because he doesn't have the size and as much strength. It's just being smarter than the other guys down low. You see Jabari with the ball here, feeding it to Yvonne down low. You know he's going at it, attacking. What do they call it here? On the floor? Yeah, foul on the floor. Like I was saying though earlier, shout out to everybody who contributed to the Aggie Mailbag. I think we are going to make it a video format as well, as we see Johnny getting fouled. So starting next week, I'll still post the article, which is the written version, but then I'll also post a video version here on YouTube that you guys can check out. So I think that's going to be fun. Yeah, I've already got some ideas for it. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it interesting. And that's going to be every Thursday moving forward. As long as you guys send me questions, then that's how long I'll keep this series going. Because I did have this series during the season, and I think we only got maybe 2 or 3 episodes or editions or whatever, just because we ran out of questions. I think it was just because I was putting out like 4 or 5 articles a week on New Mexico State, so there weren't a lot of questions for you guys to ask me. But obviously now that things have started to slow down, I'm getting a lot more questions So as long as you guys are sending them in, I'll keep doing these episodes. You guys can reach me on my Twitter at @JTheSportsDude. You can message us on our Facebook page. It's Sun U Sports. You guys can hit me up on my email, jmmartinez@gannett.com. That's jmmartinez@gannett.com. Plenty of ways that you guys can reach out to me. And if this live stream does continue, you guys can also reach out to me on these live streams. So any way you guys want, feel free to send me some questions, and we'll throw it in the mailbag. So we got a corner three there, rattles in. High ball game. Sean Buchanan still holding down the starting spot. Yvonne going to work down low. That's too easy. Too easy. 5-3 in favor of the Aggies. Another corner three. No. Pump fake. Midi. We're way off on that one. Yvonne with the board. The Aggies are running. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this continues, because I actually really like sitting down and watching these games. Like, obviously talking to y'all is a big part of it. But it's just good to get a little bit of a refresher on these games, because outside of conference play, from like the big games, we see Trev in the corner. Good tip in by Jabari. Got an and one. Yeah, other than really whack playing some of the big non-conference games like Mississippi State and obviously the rivalries, don't really remember a whole lot about these other games, so it's good to just get a refresher here. Like this one, I don't remember too much about it. Couldn't really name you the top players from Arkansas-Pine Bluff at this point. It's been a couple months. I do remember they were a three-point shooting team, and I'm pretty sure they put up a good amount of attempts in this one. But, yeah, I don't remember a whole lot. I'll pull up a box score in a little bit. I usually do that around halftime. Full court press by the Aggies. And they're starting to retreat. Nitty, no good. Sean Buchanan with the board. Aggie swinging it around. 18 on the shot clock. Terrell with the ball. It's back to Jabari. We got early playing time for Will. Trapped in the corner. Yeah, one of the questions for the mailbag was my front court predictions. So at the 4 and the 5. I still think I'm still giving the starting center spot right now to Will for this upcoming season, just because we don't know which guys are going to be eligible. None of the guys coming from Division I schools are immediately eligible as of right now, so that's Jacob Tryon, Mayan Kerr. Those two centers still are not eligible right away, so I still think Will's going to get the edge over a guy like Wilfred Lakai, but we'll see. I actually like Wilfred's game a lot. I think he can provide a lot more spacing, definitely, than Will. Either way, I think Johnny does have the starting power forward spot locked up. There's not really anybody that can come in and take it from him right now. Three ball, no good by Terrell. Yeah, let me start looking at the box score a little bit. Let me pull that up here. Looks like we're good on the stream though, so maybe it was just out of the game. But I already know how it's going to go. I'm going to get emails. Oh, Justin, you're not watching the New Mexico game, from like Lobos fans. Oh, you just don't want to watch them lose to the Lobos. No, it's just for some reason that stream just refused to work. Okay, yeah, if we're looking at this box score, Pine Bluff didn't have a single guy get double-digit points. Wow. But it looks like Markel Carter and Markedrick Bell, their two guards, are their top scorers. Okay. CJ corner pocket, you gotta pull that. He's got the green light on those shots. Good extra pass there to Will, though. Calling the travel there. Pine Bluff with the ball. Ooh, yeah, they're going to call that all day. I think that's Terrell's 4th or 5th charge drawn at this point in the season. Yeah, extended the arm, no contest, no question about it there. Clear as day. As we see Evan checking into the game. First appearance. Yeah, he was deemed eligible maybe like a couple hours before the game. I remember getting the text from Charlie about that. And then yeah, just like that, same night, comes in and gets some PT. Rocking number 11, one of his like 2 or 3 numbers that he wore. I never asked him what that was all about. Him switching up his numbers so much. When I should have asked him when I interviewed him for Straight Shooter. But yeah, I mean, he had been practicing with the team the whole season leading up to this. So it's not like he didn't know plays and stuff like that. Being in game shape maybe a little bit different from, being in practice shape, but they took it easy on him this first game. He didn't play too many minutes. Let me see how many he played. It's not showing it here. Let's pull up the actual PDF of it. Yeah, he played about 16 minutes. You see him taking the shot here. I think also he was a little too aggressive in looking for a shot here. Went something like 1 for 4. But he definitely found a better balance after this in terms of just facilitating. You see Vaughn just putting the shoulder down. Ten to 5 Aggies. Nice little Euro step, even though it didn't count. Corner pocket. No good. Yvonne with the board. He gets fouled. And as you guys know, the Aggies did not lose a game ever since Evan got into the rotation, so it's going to be a lot of more entertaining streams to watch if this does continue. It's going to be just W's after W's. We see Sean Williams swinging it around. Finds him, top of the arc, got it to go. Catch and shoot. That's one of the things you got to credit Sean, is that even though he wasn't the most consistent, man, his confidence always was up there for sure. Never shy about pulling the trigger. Still waiting to see where he ends up. He has not committed anywhere since entering the transfer portal. So we'll see what happens there. Same with DeJour Joseph as well. You see a bucket there by Pine Bluff. Yeah, neither of them have found a new spot just yet. But once that happens, I'll write something up. I'll report on it. Good find there to CJ. No good. Wow, back-to-back clean blocks there. Good contest. I don't want to jinx it, guys, but it looks pretty good. We've gone a couple minutes here. That should have been a rip. Got some contact though. It looks pretty good. I'm knocking on wood. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but we've gone much longer than the last stream, so I don't know. Maybe it just was that game. Sean with the ball, gets it to Johnny. Ooh, that's a good look. That's some bully balls. Johnny, oh, does he get it? No. Good hustle, though. I learned this time, guys. For those who were following my older streams, I didn't know how to make it to where if I get a text message it doesn't show on the screen. So I finally learned that because I'm getting like a text right now, but it's not popping up on the screen. Not that I have anything to hide, but just, you know, I don't need to be showing all of my text messages. As we see, yet another foul there. How many is that on Pine Bluff at this point? That'll send Yvonne to the line. 13-7. We're midway through this first half, and we have no problems so far. I like it. I like it. Are we in the clear? I think we might be. Yeah, if this stream does work, then we'll continue this every single night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll see what happens. I'm still a little bit nervous. Like, I don't want it to just cut out at any second here. But we're looking good so far. Gone with the free throws. It's a 1-and-1 here. Got it to go. So Aggie's already in the bonus with 9:25 left. Jeez. They had to have shot. How many free throws did they shoot this first half? That's what I'm trying to find right now. They shot 21 on the game. I can't see it by half. But okay. Oh, easy steal there. They're going to slow it down. Corner pocket, no good. Yvonne, yet another foul. Okay, that guy guarding Yvonne has to be in foul trouble already, right? Jeez, more free throws for Yvonne. (14-7), 15-7. Yeah, this is right around where Yvonne's free throw numbers started to go up as well. Like I said, he got off to a pretty rough start. Beginning of the year, let me see how he shot in this game. 9 for 13 in this game from the line, so this is one of his better outings. Sorry, guys. I am talking to. Like I said, I'm working on an article for high school football, so I'm texting a couple coaches right now, trying to get some dates set up where I can actually go to the practices and report on that this upcoming week. Yeah, we're starting to shift a bit of the focus to high school football. Now that it's about 2 months away, as we get fouled there by Johnny. Now that we're about 2 months away from that starting, but obviously I'm still trying to bring you guys as much New Mexico State basketball content as I can. A little bit hard right now because these next couple months are right around where there's not really any news going on. Really any upcoming news is just going to be, like if Jaquan Scott does decide to go to New Mexico State. There's a lot of pending waivers for the Aggies with the 4 incoming transfers that are coming from D1s. So Jacob Tryon, Marcus Watson, Mayan Kerr, and Donnie Tillman. All of them are trying to become immediately eligible. I'm still waiting to see what's gonna happen with the schedule. I was told that the first week of this month we would get a couple more games locked in, but that hasn't happened yet. So we can get something any day now. So that kind of stuff I'll still be reporting on, in addition to the stray shooter interviews and all that kind of stuff in Aggie Mailbag. But yeah, other than that, it's starting to become a little bit of a slow period in terms of news for basketball. But I'm gonna try my best to not just completely go into covering high school football for the next couple months. I definitely want to still bring you guys some content, hoops wise. Bad pass there by Johnny, yeah. 2 clogged up there in the paint. 16-9, New Mexico State with 8:10 left. For those just now joining, you might be a little bit confused. I've been saying we're going to watch the New Mexico game. We tried it, and again, it got suspended. So it looks like it was just that game, because since we switched over to this following game against Pine Bluff, we haven't had any problems. We're about maybe 12 minutes of game time into it, and we haven't had any problems. So that's what we did. We just skipped the New Mexico game. Spoiler alert, the Aggies lost that one anyway. So moving on to this one, and it looks like we'll be good to continue this series, assuming we don't get any stoppages here. That's a tough shot over Trev. Pine Bluff hanging in there in this first half. Very low scoring, though. Yeah, just pretty sloppy play on the offensive end for New Mexico State to start this one. I'm not going to give it to him. Sean's always looking to draw that charge, but didn't have his feet quite set yet in that one. I should be keeping count of who's drawing the most charges. I want to say up to right now it's Terrell Brown who's actually drawing the most charges. Now that Evans playing in this game, he is going to catch up because he became one of the most consistent guys in that department too. Kick out there. Yeah, really no reason for Jabari to cave in there. But luckily it does not lead to points. CJ at the top of the arc. .15 on the shot clock. Aggies with the 5-point lead. CJ looking down low. Gets it to Yvonne. Triple teaming him. Good defense by Pine Bluff. Always dangerous when you bring an extra guy to Yvonne, though, because I've said it before, his passing as a big man I think is really underrated. But, when you swarm him with 3 bodies, I think it's pretty hard to find somebody else or to really see anything. So, yeah, that was a good trap there. And a good timed one, too, I think, because they're waiting until he actually turns the shoulder. At that point, he actually does put his head down and just starts to barrel his way to the lane. So that's when he's maybe not going to make that extra pass. So a good, well-timed triple team there. 5-point game still. So we got some more people tuning in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all are staying safe, doing well. We are watching this game against Pine Bluff now. We're throwing that New Mexico game in the trash, man. It was not it. So it's on to this one, and it's for those who watched all of last season, it's nothing but wins at this point. Now that Evan is deemed eligible, undefeated as an Aggie. He says he doesn't like to talk about that too much. We brought it up during our straight shooter interview. He says he really doesn't look at it as like a personal accomplishment, you know? Like he came in and fixed the team, which is correct. If you see Vaughn at the bucket down low. He definitely isn't the only reason that the Aggies won the rest of the way, but I definitely think that having somebody who can not only facilitate but can also score, not to throw shots at Sean. So you see the dunk there by Trev. But I mean, it's no secret that defenses weren't really planning against Sean Buchanan. So they were able to bring the traps on guys like Yvonne. They were able to bring double coverage on guys like Trev. But, having a point guard that you can't slack off of, because Evan can definitely score on his own, I think was a really big addition for New Mexico State. And also just depth at the point guard spot too. Like definitely Sean Buchanan was still doing a good job, but the guy had to play most of the game. Like Sean Williams would have to come in and be a backup point guard, which he's not normally somebody's going to put it on the deck very often. So yeah, that was definitely big news that the Aggies were able to get him. And I remember talking to Chris Jans. He said that it was up to Evan, because he could have very easily just redshirted this year. Evan could have. And then come into this upcoming season as a redshirt junior. But once they found out that he was going to be eligible, Jans pretty much said, hey, it's up to you. You can decide if you want to play this half season, or you can sit out and get 2 full seasons on the squad. And Evan said that there was no hesitation. He was surprised that Jans even asked him. I remember him saying that. Yeah, he wanted to get out there and help this team right away. So, props to him for going out and doing just that. 20-11 here with just under 5 minutes left in the first half. Pine Bluff with the ball, still hanging in there. That is a incredibly tough shot. William McNair waiting there for the block, but can't get it. Let's find the name of that guy who made that one. That was Jamil Wilson. Nice layup off the glass there. High off the glass. Yeah, I am going to have to look up the names of these guys here on my phone. I don't remember all of the Arkansas-Pine Bluff roster. Good find there to CJ. Tough finish too. See, and this is what I'm talking about what makes CJ so good. Let me just go ahead and rewind it for a second here. His movement without the basketball. Look at that. Will's going to draw to double coverage. Slips right in. And Trev making the right decision there. That's just getting to your spot. And then Trev being the good passer that he is, finding him. Makes it a 9-point contest. Midi, no good. Trev with the board. Evan racing, pacing. His speed, too, obviously just brings a whole other dynamic to that point guard spot. His ability to just push the fast break As good as Sean is at running the fast break, just that extra burst of speed. And he's somebody who can just go on a one-man fast break, you know? First free throw, no good. Second one is on its way. Rimmed out as well. Again, he's getting into game shape on this one. He did practice with the team this whole season leading up to this, but getting into game shape a whole other thing. So I didn't put too much weight into this game in terms of Evan. I believe the very next game he came out and showed out. Yeah, this was a bit of a warm-up one for him. So we got Sean Williams in the going baseline, wide open for Evan. Got it to fall. First bucket as an Aggie. I believe his only bucket of the game. That's a good find there by Sean Williams. Good block there by Will. Finds Trev. I'm going to slow it down here. Cameron Montano asks, do you think Rashawn Agee will get playing time at the power forward position as a redshirt freshman? I kind of expect him to have a similar season or a similar role to what Will McNair had this season. Normally, Jans isn't the type of guy that's going to... Oh, as we see a filthy dunk there by Johnny McCants. I don't remember that one. Jeez. Sorry, that made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, Jans isn't really known for kind of throwing freshmen into the mix too heavily. So I'm kind of expecting a very similar role to what Will had this past season as a redshirt freshman. Maybe around 8 to 9 minutes a game. The difference is the team really does need depth at that in the front court. And I think of the big men, Rashawn is mobile enough to play that 4 spot. He's 6'7". So I think he will get around 8 to 10 minutes maybe a game because of that. But primarily, I think the actual backup 4 is probably going to be Clayton Henry. And we'll see a very similar thing to like this season here, where Jabari Rice and Trevelyan Queen, at least one of them had to be on the floor because they didn't have wing depth. I'm kind of thinking that's going to be the same thing this upcoming season at the 4 spot, where at least Clayton Henry or Johnny McCants has to be on the court pretty much at all times in order to have a power forward, because Clayton is definitely capable of running that small ball 4. But yeah, during those times where that's not happening, I would say Rashawn's probably going to be the guy to fill in those extra minutes. And I like his game. He's actually, like I said, he's got some good mobility, pretty good touch around the rim, and just really good on the pick and roll. Not much range to him. You're not going to see him spacing the floor too much. But yeah, I think he'll get an introduction to the system this season. So you see Jabari with the floater. Now, of course, those numbers or those minutes can take a hit if somebody like Donnie Tillman is granted immediate eligibility, because he is 6'7". He can play that power forward spot, and he handles the ball like a guard. So he's going to be super dangerous if he can get immediate eligibility in terms of just being a great floor spacer at the 4 spot. I think if that happens, then Rashawn's minutes really get cut down. But as of right now, they just don't have a lot of other options at the 4 spot. Halftime, 29-15 in favor of the Aggies. Almost doubling them up there. Second half on the way. Still no problems with this stream, folks. I am knocking on wood. But still no problem so far, so that's good. I mean, had I just known it was only the New Mexico video, I wouldn't have had to have taken these past couple days off to wait for a response from YouTube. But I guess it's better safe than sorry. Like, as much as I hated to take some time off, especially because I had just taken a couple days off with family in town. So as much as I hated to pretty much miss doing this for like a whole week, you know, I've put in a lot of work. As we see a good find there, Yvonne with the N1. I put in a lot of work to get this channel started, putting a lot of content on here. I would just hate because I didn't want to wait a couple of days, I try to do this again and then the whole channel gets taken down. So I was just playing the safe route on it. But it looks like we're pretty much in the clear now, since the rest of these games are working. And now I know we are not going to be watching any more New Mexico games, because I am planning on doing this this Aggie Rewind during this upcoming season, because NM Aggie Athletic Archives, the channel where we're finding all these videos, they do post the game video usually about 24 hours after the game's over. So as soon as that's uploaded, I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch it with you guys. You see a charge drawn there by Yvonne, it looks like. And in that, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more in-depth breakdowns, because the game's going to be fresh on my mind. Like I would have just covered it 24 hours prior, you know. So we'll be doing that during the season. And now I know when New Mexico State plays New Mexico this upcoming season, we will not be watching those games. Whether it's a win or a loss, we are not watching those games. It's just not worth it. (32-15). Aggies really pulling away at this point. Good D there by Jabari. That's a tough shot. Straight up defense there by Johnny, but it's better offense. There is a, I'm sure you guys have already seen it by now as we see Jabari knock down the three. There's a recent NBA mock draft. Let me find the name of the writer for that. I want to make sure I get his name right. Brian Kalbrowski, who actually put out an article where he predicted both rounds of the NBA draft, and he has Trev going number 46 to the Boston Celtics, which I think after looking at it, we can pull up the second round draft order. I think if he were to get drafted, that's the one they probably would. I don't necessarily love the fit for Boston. I've kind of talked about this before. They just have so many wing players, a lot of young wing players. So I think it's going to be really hard for him to move up the ladder there. But when you look at the draft order in the second round, there really are not a whole lot of other options, if I can find that here. Yeah, so I've talked about some other teams that I think would be good fits. So I've talked about like maybe a team like the Clippers or something like that. The Clippers' late second round pick at number 47 actually is going to New York. So, you know, that's gone. I know he's also had interest from Utah. So we see them pulling up there. And it doesn't look like Utah has a second round pick. Or they do. They have one at 44. So I would say maybe that's another option, but that's about it other than that. If he were to get drafted, I know he's still one of those fringe players that could go undrafted. And even if that happens, it's not the end of the world. I think he would very quickly get picked up for a summer league team or something like that, and have his chance to earn a two-way contract that way. But as of right now, yeah, some mock drafts still have him getting picked. I still think he's going to get picked late second round. We're going to see. I'll put out more, my actual predictions on where he'll get drafted as we get closer to the draft. It's just a little too early right now. I get for like Brian's case, he's putting out, his job is to do like a mock draft every single week or every other week, But if I'm just focusing on Trev only, I'll probably actually really start to dive into that like maybe a month before the draft. So it's just a little too early to be doing that for me. And as we get closer, I'll have a feature article on Trev. We'll take a similar route to what we did with Nick, where once the MLB draft got really close, that's where we really started to pick up our coverage of them. But for now, I'm more so, having to focus on like high school football, doing the web series, stuff like that. You see them bring the double yet again on Yvonne, and yet another foul. (37-22) Aggies with 15:25 left to go. Let's see what the game after this one was. I want to say it was Mississippi State, right? Yeah, Mississippi State, which we do have the video for that one. So that's going to be a really fun one to watch tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. You guys definitely want to tune in for that one. It's where we saw A.J. Harris make his return. It's where we saw Evan have his first real breakout game with the Aggies. So, looking forward to that one. Really wish I could have gone out to that game. I was actually back home. Technically, I was on vacation at the point of that game for Christmas, but I decided to, obviously still cover the game. So can't miss out on that one. Cameron Montano, do you think the way Caleb Williams shoots the basketball will affect his playing time as an Aggie? I definitely think it's going to affect his game, just because at that D1 level, people close out so much quicker than what you see, in the JUCO route. As we see, what are they calling there? Is that an and one for Jabari? I forget which player I was talking to. I think it was Bryce Rewalt in the Straight Shooter interview, that he was saying like that was one thing that he definitely had to adjust to, was getting quicker release, because it's just a whole other level. And Kalen's three-point percentages already weren't the best in the JUCO route or in the JUCO competition. So I definitely think his numbers are going to take a hit, and obviously that's going to affect his playing time as well. But like I said, he's just wrapped up his freshman year. He's got plenty of time to work on that. But it's definitely going to have to be, I would say, at the top of his priority right now, is just to get a quicker release. And the good thing is that he's not going to get thrown into a situation where he has to be an immediate producer for this team. Like we had talked about how, freshmen normally don't come in and have to take on a big role. So he's going to have time to learn from guys like Evan, learn from guys, possibly AJ if he does come back, CJ Roberts. He's got time to work on it, but that's probably the biggest critique I had when I looked over his film. Other than that, he looks promising, though. Makes good decisions in terms of knowing when to pass up the ball. I had said CJ has more hops than Evan, but I think Kalen has even more hops than CJ, so has the best bounce in the backcourt. Pretty athletic, so yeah, I still like Kalen Williams overall. It's just that shot was um, something that I was kind of harping on when I first saw his film. So we got a 40-26 ball game here with 13:37 left. Point game. Pine Bluff with the ball here. Just 26 points in this one. I don't know how much they finished with. I don't want to say the final score. So we got a jump ball here. I can't imagine it was over 40. I believe at the time of this game, Pine Bluff was ranked the second worst team in D1 basketball on KenPom.com. So as much as 26 points is something good for the Aggies defense, this is not an impressive game whatsoever by New Mexico State. Just 40 points, a 14-point lead. A lot of sloppy passes by the Aggies in this one. Cameron asked, if Jaquan Scott commits to NMSU, do you think he will redshirt or play as a freshman? That's a good question. I think the scholarships are going to play a factor into it for sure. If they're a little bit more tight on scholarships, if like some of these incoming transfers come in, then maybe they just ask for him to redshirt. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. There definitely would be a need for him at the 4 spot, so in that sense, I think that there's definitely a reason to get him out there on the court. But yeah, there's just so many question marks right now that I really don't know. All of that is going to play out. I don't know. Personally, I think it would be a pretty hard sell. Again, I haven't talked to Jaquan, so I don't know him personally or anything like that. But I think it would be a hard sell to say, hey, we want you to come here instead of Kansas, which already is a hard sell in itself because New Mexico State is a mid-major. I think it'd really be hard to say, hey, don't come to Kansas, come to New Mexico State where we also want you to sit out your first year. You know what I mean? Like, I'd imagine during the pitch, they're probably saying you can come in and immediately get some PT. That's just my speculation. New Mexico State hasn't told me what the recruiting process for him has been like. But that's kind of just how I think it would play out. Is that they probably are saying you can immediately come in and get some PT. We see Evan drawing the charge there. Still just a 12-point game with 12 and change left. Yeah, so I'm in my living room right now, and the door to my garage is like right here, but the weird thing is it's not actually my garage. You have to pay extra on top of the rent in order to get that. So I just paid for covered parking right here outside, and then the people who live above me actually have the garage. So anytime they come in, I can hear them, and apparently there's a spider in the garage right now, and there's some kids screaming about some spiders. So that's, I don't think the audio's, the mic is picking it up, but that's like all I'm hearing right now. This is funny. Yeah, they're freaking out right now. 12-point game here, 11:23 left. Shout out to everybody who's been watching this, whether it's live or you're going back to rewatch this. Appreciate y'all. If you're enjoying this, please leave a like, subscribe. helping this channel grow. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time is going to be the game against Mississippi State, which I feel is New Mexico State's best win of the season. So definitely something you guys want to tune in to watch. Free throw hits back rim there. Next one's up. Got that one to go. 11-point game. See Evan with the ball here. Like I said, even though he didn't have the best stat line in this game, I'm sure Sean appreciated just having somebody to help give him a breather, man. Eddie was playing pretty much every minute leading up to this game. We did get a quote from Jans after this game on just like his assessment of how Evan played. I'm pretty sure I included it in the article, so kind of like what we've been doing, I'll go back after this game's over and I'll read the quotes. For sure talked to Jans, and then we might have talked to Evan, honestly. I don't remember. I'm going to try to find that. Again, I'm sorry, guys. Trying to set up some times to go out to these high school football practices next week. So I'm messaging like all 4 of the coaches in town right now. So that's why I gotta check my phone every now and then. But other than that, yeah, let me see who we talked to in this game. Good board there by Yvonne. Yet another foul. What did we say he had? 13 free throw attempts? They were just hacking him in this game. There we go. Alright, found the article. Let's see who we talked to. We talked to Jans, we talked to Yvonne, and we talked to Evan. Okay. Oh, I think this is that game, for those who follow my coverage after the games, I think this is that game where Yvonne was like answering a question, you know, with his Spanish accent, and Evan was like, it's like, let me translate for him or something like that. Yeah, I think this is that game. Okay, so yeah, we talked to Yvonne and Evan after this, so I'll read off the quotes for that once this game's over. Still just a 9-point game. I was thinking of putting out an article, as we see Trev hitting the left wing 3. I was thinking about putting out an article where I actually rank New Mexico State's performances from the entire season, so like their worst performance all the way to their best. I was thinking about doing that. Let me know what you guys think about that. Feel free to comment or something if you think that'd be a good idea. Because I'm thinking that I'll probably do that sometime next week. And if that's the case, then this one's going to be pretty low on the list, even though it is a win. Like, I would put this lower than wins, or other, like, I would put this lower than actual losses, you know? But yeah, I'll put that out next week. We'll end up doing that. That'll be fun. It's gonna be hard to rank like 30 games actually, and like explain why each one is better than the one before or whatever. But that'll be fun to do. So we'll have that next week. 11-point ball game, 9 minutes to go. Alright, the screaming from the garage over there has stopped, so I think they killed the spider. Second free throw up. Trying to make it a 10-point game. Got it. See Sean coming off the screen there. Johnny's calling for it. Yet another foul. Jeez. Jeez, this definitely was a big game for Yvonne, just to obviously get plenty of chances at the line. Like I said, he was trying to pick his numbers up, and he got plenty of opportunities to find his touch from the free throw line in this one. Went 9 for 13. Second one, got it. Aggie's applying some pressure here. .30 to go. They're gonna call a travel. Wow. I thought there was a bit of a push just for that guy to even fall to the ground. And maybe a jump, but okay. Aggies get the ball up 12 with 8:24 left. Trying to pull away here. Five on the clock. He's going to have to put it up. No, turnover instead. How many turnovers did the Aggies have in this game? Let's see, what did that end up being? Aggies with 11 turnovers. Yeah, it's actually not horrible. We got a 10-point game with 7:30 left. And you got to give credit to Pine Bluff too. Like, this isn't just sloppy play by the Aggies. It is sloppy play, but you know, they did a good job, because at around this time, New Mexico State was really struggling from deep. So I think this was a good move by Pine Bluff to pretty much say, hey, anytime you're in the paint, we're bringing some extra bodies, forcing you to kick it out. I think this is about as good of a strategy as Pine Bluff could have made. Obviously, they don't have the better roster. So I would say this is pretty much best case scenario, was just being in the game this late. Second free throw, got it. Credit to Yvonne. Getting bumped and bruised the entire game, but composed at the line. Good D by Jabari. Staying with him on the perimeter. Finds Terrell. He's going to pass it up. Not this time, though. No good. CJ rising for the board. Aggie's going to slow it down for a bit. Corner. That's his sweet spot. That's his sweet spot for CJ. He's going to shoot a three. Most of the time it's in the corner there. Yeah, I really didn't get to talk to CJ too much during the season. But that interview for Straight Shooter, for those who haven't seen it, you guys should definitely check it out. He's a character, dude. For real. Honestly. You guys definitely should check that one out. Super cool, dude. Kind of like what I was saying earlier, he is looking at the overseas route, possibly Spain with Yvonne. That's something I kind of just guessed like a month ago, but yeah, I think that was the first time that he's actually come out and confirmed that that's something on his mind. So we'll see if that happens, if he ends up going to Spain, somewhere else overseas. But it looks like that's going to be the route for CJ now that he's graduated. A 15-point game with just under 6 minutes to go. Yeah, the way you can tell that Jans isn't happy with this performance, as we see CJ shoot another three, is that there's 5 minutes left, and it doesn't look like at any point, we got Trev with the dunk, doesn't look like at any point we're going to see some of these bench guys come in. Normally at this point, you might be seeing Bryce and Tennessee get in the game, but you can just tell Jans isn't happy with the way they're playing, so he's leaving them out there. He wants to see if they can do something to build on for the next game, you know? Jabari, corner three, got it. Little contact, no problem. Yeah, he's not bringing any of the second or third unit guys onto the court until he feels like he's actually seen something good from this first unit. They're still out there. Just they answer back with three of their own. Pine Bluff already looking to make a mass sub here. Still nothing from New Mexico State. Gonna call it travel on Trev. Minutes and change left in the ballgame here. Aggies on their way to a win, which, as you guys know, started off the win streak perfect the rest of the way. It's going to be nothing but W's the rest of these live streams, starting off with Mississippi State tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. You guys definitely want to check that one out. Ooh, had Jabari in the corner. Vaughn down low, the double comes, and it forces a turnover. Yeah, props to Pine Bluff. Like, I know they're still losing this game by about 20, but this is about as good as they could have played, honestly. Like I said, this is a team that Ken Palm had as the second worst team in all of D1 basketball heading into this one. Trev cashing in from deep. They should not have been within single digits at any point of the second half, honestly. Midi, no good. Try with the board. Another double for Yvonne. Kicks it out. What do they call it here? Another foul. Ugh. Yeah, they got physical with him this whole game. You got Yvonne at the line. Double bonus at this point, so first one's good. Up to a 19-point game, and it looks like now we're going to start to see the second unit come in. We got Will heading over to the scorer's table. Still no Bryce or Tennessee as of right now. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing the quote from Jans on this game. I don't remember it. I know he wasn't happy about the game, but I don't remember the exact quote. So I'll read that off. Like I said, we'll also have quotes from Yvonne. So we see a nice Euro and one for Jabari, second and one of the game. We'll get something from Jans, Yvonne, and from Evan, just on his first game as an Aggie. So stay tuned for that. I'll read the final box score, all of that as well, just to the usual. I think I can actually find the preview article for this one. I want to see what score I predicted for this game, if I was close at all. Yeah, I was expecting a much higher scoring game. I had New Mexico State 76, Arkansas-Pine Bluff 55. So I had it as a 21-point game. It's a 22-point game, so I guess in that sense, I was close with the point margin, but I was definitely expecting the Aggies to put up some more buckets in this one. .144 left to go. Shout out to everybody who's been watching this with me, whether it's live or you guys are rewatching this. I appreciate it. I know we've gotten out of the rhythm of doing this every night because of all this policy violation stuff with YouTube. But it looks like we're good to get this show rolling again, guys, as we have Tennessee and Bryce checking in. Looks like we're good with that. Dangerous play there. There on the rebound. So yeah, we're already getting to the rhythm of this again. Every night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So we'll have this going on. We'll still have the Straight Shooter episodes every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll have our new Aggie Mailbag, which I'm going to make a video format of that as well. So that'll be Thursdays, I think, is what we'll roll with. Probably at the same 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So three video-based series going on at once. I don't know why I do it to myself, honestly. But, you know, it is what it is, man. I got to bring y'all the coverage. Catch and shoot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Ski. Is that Bryce's first bucket as an Aggie? Maybe not, right? I feel like he had to have gotten something earlier than this. It might have been, by the way, how crazy the bench went. Again, I have it on mute just because you guys can't hear me and the commentators at the same time. Ooh. Layup didn't fall, but that was pretty nice by Tennessee putting it on the deck. You don't see a whole lot of that from them. Three ball, no good. And it looks like that's going to do it, folks. 15 seconds left. Evans going to dribble it out here. Yes, sir. 65-40 in favor of the Aggies. Yeah, that had to have been Bryce's first three because Tennessee just ran over to him. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah. Pretty safe to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that was Bryce's first bucket. That's going to do it for this, guys. Let's take a quick look at the box score here. For Arkansas-Pine Bluff, they didn't have any double-digit scores. They had three guys actually get 8 points. That's Markel Carter, Markedrick Bell, and Daquan Morris. All of them had 8 points in this one. Arkansas-Pine Bluff shot 34.8% from the field. That's 16 for 46. They shot 25% from deep and 83% from the free throw line. 14 turnovers. And look at New Mexico State. The lead scorer was Ivan Audico-Echea, as you would imagine from all those free throws. 5 for 6, 19 points, 9 rebounds, one shy of a double-double, and then 9 for 13 from the free throw line. So really good outing for him. You got Trevelyan Queen with 17 points and 3 boards on 5 for 10 shooting, and the only other double-digit scorer was, I'm sorry guys. Those were Jabari Rice's stats. Jabari had 17 points on 6 for 10 shooting, and Trevelyan Queen had 12 points on 5 for 10 shooting. So the Aggies shot 44.9% from the field, and then 32% from deep, 61.9% from the charity stripe. Let's take a quick look at the quotes from this game. We got to talk to Chris Jans to start it off, and here's his quote on the game. He said, "I thought early we were really moving the ball. I loved our spacing and thought we got it inside enough early. And then in the second half, I screwed them up. We started working on some other looks at it, and it wasn't as good. So we went back to that. We went back to what worked in the first half. We started making those threes with 6 or 5 minutes left to try to extend the lead and win the game." End quote. We talked to Yvonne. Here's his quote about his play as of late, because this was, I believe, his 3rd game in a row with double-digit points or something like that, 3rd or 4th. He says, "I've just been working from the beginning of the year trying to net these hook shots, finish the free throws, and I couldn't do it until these last 3 or 4 games. The ball is starting to go in, and I'm really happy because I'm finally helping the team." Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, is just, I feel like the free throws, he's obviously a really aggressive player. Somebody's going to get to the line super often, and when you're that aggressive of a player, you can't be a liability at the free throw line, because that is such a big chunk of your production. So yeah, he started to pick it up after this game. And then we talked to Evan. So this is on his first game as an Aggie. He said, "It just felt good to be back on the court, man. There was just so much adrenaline going. I know I can score and I know I can knock down shots. It's just an everyday thing, but it felt good though." So that is all that we have for this one. Evan's stats, for those wondering, for this game, he played 16 and a half minutes. He had 3 points on 1 for 4 shooting, 2 assists, and 1 turnover. So not bad. Like I said, he's just getting the feel for the game. And as you can see in this final screen here, he had the game ball in his hands. So, and you guys know what happened after that once Evan joined the rotation. But that is going to do it, folks. Tomorrow night, we have a game against Mississippi State. What I feel is the Aggies' best game of the entire season. That's going to be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure to check that one out, guys. Feel free to join me tomorrow night, and you guys can watch and talk some Aggie hoops with me. If you haven't watched the most recent episode of Stray Shooter, that is an interview with William McNair. There are some audio problems on my end. I apologize. There's a bit of an echo. It's a little distracting. Hopefully not too distracting. So please feel free to go check that one out. It's still here on our YouTube channel. You guys can check that out. And next week, hopefully, folks, hopefully this upcoming Wednesday we will have a very special guest. I don't want to say it just yet because we don't have a time and date set up. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's going to be a great one. I've been looking forward to talking to this person for the past couple months. And once I get a time and date officially set up, I'll actually announce who it is. But yeah, make sure to stay tuned for that as well. We have a new Aggie Mailbag that is a series that's going to be going on where I answer your guys' questions about the team. It's going to be one article and one video every week. They're going to be the exact same questions that I answer and everything. It's just one's going to be a written form on lcsunnews.com. The other is going to be a video form here on YouTube. The first edition has already been put out, although there wasn't a video for it. So just the article is on lcsunnews.com if you guys want to check that out. I talk about rotation predictions, scholarship updates, updates on Jaquan Scott, stuff like that. So make sure to check that out and stay tuned for the videos that will be coming starting every Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. That is a whole lot of stuff that I've been talking about. Stephen M says Randy Brown. It's not Randy Brown. It's not Randy Brown. It's a player who just graduated this past season. So that narrows it down. I've already talked to Terrell Brown, so shortens the list a lot. But yeah, I am hoping to talk to some Aggie greats eventually, though. If not for Straight Shooter, then definitely for Straight Shooter, the podcast I do during the season. Steven says Yvonne. I'm not commenting anymore on it, Steven. I'm not commenting anymore. That doesn't mean that it's Yvonne. It could be Yvonne, but I'm not commenting on it anymore. No comment. But yeah, guys, I think that's enough of me plugging stuff. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in for this and was bearing with me because we did start off with the New Mexico game, had some problems, and just threw that game in the trash. But it looks like we're good now, folks. We're back on track to be doing this every night. I've been talking for the past couple minutes, so I'm out of here, guys. I need to go get some food. This has been Justin Martinez, a.k.a. Jay the Sports Dude. Wash your hands. I'm out of here, guys.